It's been 7 hours and 15 days.
Well, you know, I guess I wish everyone the very best, and I don't know anything about the man, so I'm not going to rush to judging him on one thing or another, but I would say he has a scientifically impossible task, because all religions, but certainly the Catholic Church, is really a house built on sand, and it's drowning in a sea of conditional love. We need to rescue God from religion, all religions. They've become a smokescreen which is actually distracting people from the fact that there is a Holy Spirit. And when you study the Gospels, you see the Christ character came to tell us that we only need to talk directly to God. We never needed religion. That the actual cover-up has been documented in 4 reports: the Murphy Report, the Ferns Report, the Boston Report, the Philadelphia Report, all of which state very categorically that there was a cover-up operated from within the Vatican and with instructions from the Vatican. At least until the mid-90s, were the maintenance of secrecy, the avoidance of scandal, the protection of the reputation of the Church, and the preservation of its assets. All other considerations, including the welfare of children and justice for victims, were subordinated to these priorities. What we feel here is that the letter sold the Irish hierarchy down the river. It suggested over and over that the Irish hierarchy were acting independently of the Vatican. That is simply not the case. They were acting on explicit instructions which were issued by the Vatican in 1962, which remained the rule until 2001, which involved the taking of an oath by both clergy receiving complaints and victims making complaints, an oath of silence on threat of excommunication. And if I may, I'm going to read you a brief little statement from 2 of the reports. The Murphy Report into the Archdiocese of Dublin handling of complaints of abuse concludes: the Dublin Archdiocese preoccupations in dealing with cases of child sexual abuse, and therefore it can't survive. And actually the office of Pope itself is an anti-Christian office. The idea that Christ needs a representative is laughable and blasphemous at the same time. Therefore it is a house built on sand. At least until the mid-90s, were the maintenance of secrecy, the avoidance of scandal, the protection of the reputation of the Church, and the preservation of its assets. All other considerations, including the welfare of children and justice for victims, were subordinated to these priorities.